Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty big updates going on over here when it comes to PlayStation's somewhat actually cool hardware. Now, as you guys probably know, we've been seeing a lot of big, I guess, like accessories being sold when it comes to the Xbox, PlayStation, especially with like the PlayStation VR 2, the Portal. We've also been seeing a really big insurgence of handheld devices such as like Lenovo Go, Steam Decks, and of course, if you guys have been kind of seeing a really big influx of Switch 2 leaks, where a lot of people are kind of curious on like what's going to be happening. Where's the future of gaming going? We're going to be using remote play. We're going to be using updates. And just, well, what's going to happen? Is there going to be a PSP 2, PS Vita 2, etc.? And if you guys have missed kind of the leaks, we've actually seen and confirmed that both PlayStation and Xbox have both in the works their own brand new handheld, such as things like a PSP 2, like actual physical hardware inside of that, and as well also just like updates, just brand new stuff. It's good vibes. Like we're kind of waiting and expecting for all of this to come out in the near future, next 1 or 2 years, or just whenever they kind of come on out. Probably to go compete with the Switch 2. But overall, we've actually now been seeing brand new features and updates that are now being corresponded to the ongoing PlayStation accessories that are already existing. So we're gonna go talk about the fact that there's gonna be some brand new features, brand new updates, and overall kind of give you guys, my take on the future of handheld gaming, the markets, and all that as a whole. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We also just have our, PS5 Pro giveaway still in limbo. We're waiting for a response from our actual winner over there, so I'll give you guys updates on that. Already reached out to them in private, so I'm just going to wait for them to go and see that. Well, you guys know, and of course, we also have the affiliate links down below, and I'll peach all those linked down below, the Twitter, Twitch, all that, and let's go dive on into the video itself. So as I mentioned, we're kind of seeing like a bigger influx and details on like handhelds. Like handhelds are kind of like the next big step over the VR, over weird augmented reality, I think, unless the Nintendo Switch does something crazy, and obviously maybe AI or some weird stuff. But we're actually going to see some brand new updates over here, and it's very intriguing. Now, as you guys probably may have heard, maybe, I'm not sure, I haven't really poured on it, and it hasn't been too widespread, but apparently around 2 to 3% of all PlayStation 5 owners have had a chance now to go get their own portals. We've seen a few different articles coming out, we've seen different numbers coming out, and it kind of seemed like a big resurgence of a lot of people just kind of getting comfy in their beds and, well, playing with their handhelds and playing with their controllers and just playing with them. And like, just they're enjoying themselves. Like they're having a good time as they're playing through their console itself. But right now, apparently they're also planning to introduce new features to the PlayStation Portal now in the future. Like the recently added ability now to stream games from the cloud rather than the PlayStation 5, the handheld's future features will be informed by user feedback. So this is kind of cool. Let me kind of like high level this as we go through like the big summaries. And although Sony is yet to share any concrete sales data, third-party estimates suggest the Portal has sold around 650,000 units in the US alone within the first year on the market. Now that actually number seems a little bit low because we've actually seen now more recent research coming out from Sony and their actual like numbers stating that it is more around that like 2 to 3 million mark or so, give or take. Now, we're not entirely sure exactly where it's looking at, because like I said, I've heard some figures from 2%, which would probably put that around a 1.3 million mark. We've seen some numbers as high as 4%, which does seem a little bit on the skewed higher side. That'd probably put it around like the 2 million something range or so. So at least from what I've kind of seen, that number seems like maybe a good baseline, almost likely a little bit higher, especially don't forget we also had the holiday. We also had some things like, the Pro drop as well from, say, PlayStation Direct, etc. But this is kind of cool because we're going to be seeing new features. There's going to be new features coming. We're going to be waiting for more of these. And I'm still kind of skeptical because one of my big critiques before we dive in the article itself is that I do think the PSP, PS Vita 2, whatever it's going to be, ongoing future, PlayStation Portal Bowl, I guess. As we kind of look at these, I do think there's a future of it. I do think there's like a vibe to it. I think people will buy it. But at the same time, if the Portal is going to be running really well, like it has streamability with PS Plus, and you can play games, and even things like the PlayStation 5 Pro, if you guys did not know, actually do improve the things like the Portal. It's actually a good vibe. But if it's already running so well and doing so well, why would we want to go and buy another new one, Especially if it's running through like streaming remote play, it doesn't necessarily use a lot of hardware functions. That's always been my major, critique or future thought. But basically saying the PlayStation Portal will get some new features in the future, a senior Sony official has revealed. This confirmation stems from a recent interview that also shed some more light on how the popular PlayStation device received the ability to operate as a standalone console. November 15th marked the first anniversary of the PlayStation Portal's release. It's been out for around a year or so. We've had actually a really good reception. I think a lot of people, and if you guys have gotten your own, let me know, but I think a lot of people like this. It's like a good addition to the PlayStation ecosystem, and I do think the more updates and like the more, usability features that they can throw into this might once again revitalize a lot of the gaming mobile market. And I would probably agree for things like the Lenovo Go or like the Steam Deck. Those are actually selling quite well, although not as good as, say, a console, like a PlayStation or Switch or an Xbox, but it's still like out there. There still is a niche that people want to spend money into and go and buy. So basically they're saying this is basically marketed first as a PS5 accessory, allowing users to stream games in their home console through remote play. But as of come late November 2024, which was a big update, Sony introduced experimental support for playing games in the PS Portal without a PlayStation 5. By streaming them directly from the cloud itself, which once again is also cool. That basically got an industry didn't even have to have a PlayStation 5 in the first place, which once again goes back to why do we need to have a PSP 2 or whatever, but like it's still, I think, a really cool feature at the end of the day. The decision to add this feature did not happen overnight, but has long been on Sony's radar, and that's according to Hiromi Wakaki. I don't think it's the name. Basically, the VP of Product Management, who said, as much in our recent interview with GameFile, the cloud game streaming option has always been in our roadmap since early development stage, Wakai explained. But with that as it may, the decision to finally add it was partially motivated by post-launch feedback from PlayStation Portal users, many who actually want to have these support. And of course, this kind of was cool because more updates are coming. Saying more PS Portal features are on the way. Wakai explained that Sony wanted to be extra careful. Not really sure why. I think the bigger the better, even if it costs more manpower, because it makes the product seem better at the end of the day. And of course, well, isn't that what you want to have at the end of the day too as well? About delivering the best possible experience from day one, which is why some features, including cloud gaming support, were missing at launch. Sony is now eager to continue this approach and keep refining the PlayStation Portal based on user feedback moving forward. The Sony Interactive official said, so they just want to keep on getting more updates. If people have big critiques or it goes viral or it goes on Reddit or Twitter and they're like, yo, why don't we go and have like, I don't know, a pink PlayStation Portal? They'll probably go make it. If it goes viral, they're probably going to look at it. Now, of course, is that going to be a 100% going to happen thing? Probably not, but, and thus confirming that even more post-launch features are on the way. Even the cloud gaming support is likely to be improved in the foreseeable future, as it's currently still in beta and only works with the 120 titles that are part of the PlayStation Plus premium catalog, a fraction of what's in their actual library. Basically, them going and saying that this cloud gaming is going to be a lot better, they're going to expand it on out, they're going to have a lot more games, and people be able to go play things on top of that. And of course, this was a big focus. And of course, they've also even spent a lot of money improving data centers for PlayStation Plus and trying to go spend as much money as they can to somewhat, not to the one-to-one extent, compete a little bit with Xbox, because Xbox has obviously been pushing cloud gaming on Game Pass and obviously streamability, and the idea and concept of Xbox's big brand marketing of anything can be an Xbox, whether it's a TV or your phone, is, well, going to try to drive every single person on the entire planet into the Xbox ecosystem. So PlayStation obviously wants to match that as close as they could. And of course, Sony's not a $1 trillion company, only a few multiple billions, you know, what's a few billions amongst friends, but either way, it's still a big deal for them. They also promised some new feature echoes with the PlayStation's co-CEO Hideki Nishino told the BBC back in early December of 2024, where he said Sony is adamant to continue improving the PlayStation Portal. Although once again, it kind of still drives that same question. If they're putting all this effort and time and money into improving the PlayStation Portal, why would I want to go buy a future handheld? Because don't forget, we're still in this console cycle for a while, and the PS5 Pro is still going to be relatively new for a few years. The PS5 itself is still doing well, and the Portal's only a year old. So if this is for maybe 2 or 3 years on out, in theory, if it's still using a lot of remote play or improving things on the PlayStation Plus and all that general vibe, well, like, why would we want to go and buy anything else? You know, if it already works, it already works, which might be good for the Portal and good for Portal users, but maybe bad for future handheld devices. But at the end of the day, I guess that, well, if you buy the Portal now and you buy a Portal right this second, it's probably a better win, I'd say, at the end of the day. So maybe it's not the biggest deal. Maybe it's actually something we're all kind of okay with. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure at the end of the day. But either way, them adding this chance to go and have all these type of stuff on top, this is kind of good. So anyway, same with this one too. They have a chance to share their official sales too as well. They're saying that maybe 3% of stateside PS5 owners bought the Portal. This project suggests the device sold roughly 650,000 units in the US alone within the first 10 months of the market. And that may be a number, maybe kind of explains where I was getting the other prior numbers, because that was maybe just in the US focus. And also, we have things like the UK, China, Japan, etc. out there too as well, which makes sense. And also, of course, now that you can actually go and stream this without your PS5 is also nice. But once, like, this would be cool. Like, I want to have them keep on doing more cool stuff. I'm not sure exactly what they can go and do to make it better, besides obviously improve the streaming, improve more PlayStation Plus games, or even just make it so baseline PlayStation Plus members can utilize their game category even without a PlayStation. Although most people probably do have PlayStation Plus, so they have a PS5 in the first place. But it's kind of nice because they want to work on new updates. They want to keep on making this better. And on top of this too will be very intriguing, because a lot of people are even saying this too as well. They are still working on the official standalone handheld device in vein of the PS Vita, which would be capable of playing PS5 games even on its actual hardware itself. So I think it's kind of cool, and I do believe that would replace the PlayStation Portal, but it doesn't mean you should go buy a Portal as of right this second. But it kind of seems like, I guess, like the high level of this is that they want to improve the streaming, maybe add more future games to it, and of course, I would actually almost want to have some remote play only games, such as like a Portal only game, whether it's for the PlayStation Plus subscribers or not. Kind of think how they have like those little fun, nifty games for, say, the Switch, where they sometimes go do things like, like the F-Zero 100s or the Mario 100s, where it's like the last person to go and leave, like, basically like get lapped, or lose a Mario map, I guess, last one to finish it, and they get removed and eliminated, like stuff like that, and kind of make them to Portal only users. That'd be kind of cool. There's also a lot of other cool future things too out there as well in the future, which I think might be kind of a good vibe. I don't know. I'm kind of curious, like, what would you guys even want to have included on the Portal itself? Because I do think it's a cool technology. I think a lot of people like it and enjoy it, and I do think they are working on more stuff and cooking more things, but at the end of the day, we don't know exactly where, when, why, and how, and of course, we'll have to see what the overall community goes and says too as well. So I appreciate it also much for watching, but just kind of like an update slash like fun news slash yap video on the mobile gaming market, I guess. But I appreciate y'all for watching. Subscribe if you guys are new. We have the Twitter and Twitch down below. We're probably live up on Twitch right this second. All the affiliate links down below, and let me know if you guys like your Portal or not.